Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayleen, and today I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks to improve your turns in dance. Today I'm gonna be focusing on jazz pirouettes, that's what I call these turns, and pencil turns and a la seconde turns. I'm not gonna be doing turned out pirouettes, like ballet pirouettes, but I can do a separate video on that if you would like. Just let me know in the comments below. Tip number one, ensure you have the proper foundation for your turns. So if we're prepping like this, one easy hack to make sure that your feet are far enough apart is to stand in a second position with your heels right underneath your hips, and then slowly just rotate your body to the side, and that should be a pretty good place for your prep. You also want to make sure that you have about 70 to 80% of your weight in this front leg and 30 or 20% in the back. That way you can just use this foot to push off into your releve, or you can push off here into releve for pencil turn. In order to be a strong turner, you should be able to go from a prep to a balancing position and hold for many counts, as many counts as you want to do turns, essentially. So if you want to do 3 turns, you should at least be able to hold for 3 counts, maybe more than that. So if you're consistently falling out of your turns, go back to the basics, focus on just going from a prep to a releve. Tip number 2 kind of goes with number 1 because I was talking about practicing getting into that releve position. This tip is more of just a way to shift your mindset about turns. So rather than thinking of a turn as like a spin where you just try and get your body around as many times as you can, think of it as a balance with a head spot. That's really all it is. You just need to be able to balance and turn your head. I find that when you make this shift in your mind from thinking of it as a spin around to just a balance, you're gonna focus more on the action of balancing. You're gonna focus more on tightening your core, finding your center. Tip number 3 is about the use of your arms. Of course, you should probably already know by now that we wanna make sure when we prep that we're not winding up our arm. We wanna keep the arm that's out to the side right alongside of our shoulder. You kind of should be able to see it out of the corner of your eye. Your arms shouldn't be too high and they shouldn't be down too low. Just right here out of your shoulders. And you should be engaging the muscles in your back, using those arm muscles and not just like limply, is that a word? Just kind of like holding your arms here, right? They should have energy. Now, the next tip that I have is about this arm that's coming in. Instead of thinking of this arm just coming to first or coming to whatever position you're turning in, think of actually using it and using the muscle in your arm kind of swooping over. You can think of like if you've ever been fishing or you've seen people go fishing and they cast out their line, is that what it's called? And it goes like in a little arc and it's kind of slow. That's kind of the imagery you want to have with this side arm. You don't just want to close it in, you want to use it to get you around so that you don't necessarily have to wind it up to get that energy. You can use this action to get you around. If you ever feel like maybe you don't have enough momentum to get yourself around, try this. Try actually using that arm and not just going like boop. You have it there to help you, why not use it? I don't know what tip we're on now, 4, 5, I'm losing track. This one is more about strengthening the right muscles that you need to be able to turn well. I would say a big focus on your calf muscles, so doing releves and eleves either on a single leg or both legs or both. You especially should work on these if you're someone that tends to drop their heel while they're turning, or you start to turn in like a slightly lower releve like this. You need to build up that muscle endurance in your calves and in your legs to be able to consistently go up into a really nice high releve. My last tip is to get to the position that you're turning in as quickly as possible in the shortest route possible. What I mean by that is if I'm doing a jazz pirouette, I want to get from my prep to my turning position as soon as possible. I don't want to linger and like slowly bring this foot to passe as I'm turning. I want it to get there the second that I take off for that turn. And the same thing applies for like a pencil turn. You want to hit this position that you're turning in as soon as possible. You got to teach your body to really quickly get to the position that you're turning in and stick it. The sooner that you can do that, the less likely you are to fall out of it later. So hope these tips were helpful. Let me know what you would like to see next. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more dance tips and classes and workouts. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you out and share it with a friend that you think would like it. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.